Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to take this opportunity to welcome you to this afternoon's Lunch and Learn. I'm so glad that you have taken the opportunity to find time to develop yourself professionally as a coach as well as in business. And so, our Lunch and Learn session today, we're going to take a deep dive into developing a winning mindset as a health coach. And so, I'm just going to up our presentation here so that we can jump right into our topic on today, which is developing a winning mindset as a coach. And if you could properly sing the slides um, on this end, that would be great. And so, for those that will be joining in a little bit later on this presentation, I am Coach Rakesia McMillan. I'm an honorably retired Air Force veteran, a social worker, and one of your Get Fit 21 coaches. And I'm so glad that you've taken time out to join us for this afternoon's Lunch and Learn. And so, our agenda for today is developing a winning mindset as a health coach. And before we get into our lunch and learns, we always like to rehearse in our hearing because we can never major in the basics too much because they're the foundation of what we do as health coaches. And as health practice advisors, we are comprised of a wide team of healthcare professionals to include health coaches, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, dentists, social workers, fitness trainers, hospitals, fitness centers, and wellness centers. And together, we facilitate programs that address metabolic health issues. That includes weight loss, gut health, cholesterol, diabetes management through our Get Fit 21, our Cleanse program, and our Feel Great system. And we partner with Unicity for our medical nutrition. They're a direct selling company and they create science based nutrition that provides the science based nutrition that we use with our clients in over 50 countries around the world. And if anyone ever asks you, what is it that you do as a health coach as part of health practice advisors? This is something that's simple that you can rehearse in your hearing and keep this in your memory so that it becomes natural to you when anyone asks what you do as a health coach. And that's simply I collaborate with a group of healthcare and fitness professionals, and together we facilitate online and offline programs that are focused on weight loss, gut health, cholesterol, and diabetes management. So I shared that we're focusing on developing a winning mindset as a coach. And so to develop a winning mindset, many times people say that, the mindset is where most of the battle takes place when it comes to winning because defeat is a mindset. But just like defeat is a mindset, so is victory. And so you can end up victorious or defeated long before the battle line is drawn or not after it's drawn. And so it all starts with your mindset. And so, in order to be successful as health coaches in the work that we do in serving our communities and serving others, we must have a winning mindset. And so, the first thing that we want to ensure that is fully developed in our lifestyle as coaches is that we have to have a clear set of goals. And goals can never be rehearsed too much in our hearing because goals is what life is all about. We're always working towards a goal, or we should be, not only in our personal lives, but particularly in business as a health coach. And so you always want to ask yourself the following questions when it comes to defining your goals. So you have to know exactly what is it that you want to achieve? What areas do you need to improve in? You need to think about how you will get there because we can have those goals in our mindset, but if we don't have a plan to get there, we'll never be able to achieve those goals. You also need to ask yourself, when do you plan on achieving these goals? So, putting a timeline behind those goals that you're setting. You also want to think about your limitations. What are those limitations that you may have in your life that would really prove to be a barrier to your goal setting? And you want to think about, okay, how you can overcome those limitations and set a plan to do that. You also want to think about why do you want to reach this goal and what your options are. And so these are questions that we should all be asking ourselves on a continual, if not a daily basis, when it comes to helping our clients in moving forward in our health coaching business. Because there's a saying that says that if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So even in our businesses as health coaches, we must have clear goals because that develops a clear plan so that we know where we're going and we know what we're doing. The goals that we set, they need to be called SMART goals. And maybe you've heard these because this is a very popular acronym that is used not only in the business world, but in our personal spaces. But our goals must always be SMART, meaning that our main goal should focus on the growth of your health coaching business. What is it that you're going to set on paper, that you're going to plan out, that is going to be specifically targeted towards the growth of your business? Specific means that you can add 6 new clients to your business. That would be an example of a specific goal. You have a goal of doing that. You want to make sure that that goal is measurable. How are you going to track this number within a specific time frame? You want to make sure that it is achievable. You want to arrive at this number because you have 6 free slots in a specific time point on your calendar. You also want to make sure that it's relevant, that you want to make sure that the more clients equate to a greater revenue for you. And then timely, you're adding 6 new clients before the year ends. So, this is an example of a SMART goal. So, even in your particular health coaching business, I want to encourage you to take some time out to map out whether it is one SMART goal, 2 SMART goals, or 3 SMART goals that you want to accomplish as we are headed into 2024. And when you want to accomplish that on a specific timeline, that, hey, I want to be able to have 6 new clients added to my business. I'm going to do this on a monthly basis, and I'm going to arrive at this number by such and such a time on my calendar in 2024, and holding yourself accountable to meeting that specific goal. The second thing is you want to have self belief. So, what does that mean to be able to have self belief? That means that you are really doing some inner reflection on who you are as an individual. And it's one of the elements that's going to help you to build a winning mindset when it comes to a coach. And so sometimes that does take time because you may be getting your, what we say, your sea legs as a coach. You're just getting your footing. You're learning how to be able to coach your clients well. But you also want to be able to recognize your main skills and your strengths, and even along with your weaknesses. You want to be able to highlight the accomplishments that you have been able to fulfill as a coach, no matter how small, because an accomplishment could be, okay, today I made one cold call to a physician's office. That's an accomplishment. Or you reached out to someone that you feel would benefit from the coaching programs that we have, and you haven't done that consistently. But if you're doing that consistently, that's an accomplishment. So you want to be able to use these things as a foundation to reinforce your self belief. Because if you have a strong belief in yourself and you become an unstoppable force with your purpose, an unstoppable force with your dedication, but it allows you to really be wise as well as understand how you can use your skills and your expertise to your advantage if you know yourself. And so once you acknowledge your strengths, you acknowledge those expertise areas that you have, then you want to be able to hone in on that because it develops your self assurance and it helps you to navigate your business as a coach. So, developing and cultivating that self belief. You also want to cultivate adaptability. And so, something that I was sharing with one of the other coaches the other day is that being a business owner and being in entrepreneurship can be like to a roller coaster. Because sometimes you will have your ups, you will have your downs, you will have your lows, you will have your highs, you will have exhilarating moments, you will have not so exhilarating moments. There will be times of fear and excitement and joy all in one. But the goal is to be able to adapt to whatever season you are in because business is always changing. And so, this is one of the elements that is going to get you ahead in your business. It's adaptability, being able to adapt to change, being able to adapt to new dynamics and new dimensions when it comes down to your business. And so when we think about change, sometimes it can be scary, sometimes it can be seen as a threat when change comes on the horizon. But rather than see it as a threat, see it as an opportunity of growth, to embrace the opportunity to change and to develop. Because even in our businesses as health coaches, there are some things that we may have never done before. This environment we have had to learn how to adapt. Maybe that's in the world of social media. Maybe we've never done videos before. Maybe we've never been out there posting consistently like we should. And so these are things that are examples of how we should adopt or adapt to change and be flexible and not because if we are not in a mindset of being adaptable to change, what happens is that you're going to get stuck. You're going to be stagnant in your business growth, and you're going to be stagnant as a coach. And so changing that mindset and being open to being adaptable to no matter whatever comes your way, that you'll be able to change with the momentum. And that comes with knowing yourself. That ties back into number 2, which is self-belief. So you have to know yourself. You have to be able to understand how you're going to navigate these different seasons. And so when it comes down to that adaptability, you have to know yourself to know how you're going to be able to adjust, how you're going to make assessments along the way, because the only thing that is constant is change. And so we have to learn as coaches to be able to change with our profession, professionally, as well as personally. The fourth area is that we want to be able to practice positive thinking. And so, one of the things that I shared at the beginning of this lunch and learn session is that defeat begins in the mindset, that we can either have a defeatist attitude or mindset, or we can have an attitude or a mindset of victory. So, practicing positive thinking is something that is necessary as health coaches because we need to have an optimistic mindset to ensure long term success in the work that we're doing as coaches. Because our mental attitude, we have to be able to solve problems that our clients come to us with. And if our mindset is clouded with a lot of negativity, or if it is clouded in a sense of not thinking that we will be able to help that individual with a health problem that they come to us with, we will not be able to effectively coach them and get the help that they truly do need because a positive mindset also involves a lot of problem solving skills. It involves being open to other perspectives. And so we want to be able to cultivate this on a daily basis. And so, some of the things that I even practice in my own life is to cultivate a positive mindset or positive thinking, is that I'll listen to positive affirmations in the morning. I'll read positive affirmations because what this does is that it rewires and resets your mind. It recalibrates the mindset every single morning to start your day to begin thinking in a positive manner that's going to just spill over into every other aspect of your day. So, developing that mindset in a positive manner. You also want to be able to foster resilience because a highly resilient mindset shows that you can handle unexpected and inevitable changes. And that ties into that adaptability factor that I was sharing a little bit earlier. But within our businesses as coaches, you know what? We are bound to experience some type of setback, whether that is a personal setback, whether that is a business setback. But when this happens, your resilience is going to help you to ward off potential failures and from stopping. Because, sometimes individuals may feel that they are in a crisis or they're in a crisis mode, they're in a crisis time in their life. And what happens is that sometimes a person can get paralyzed within that crisis moment. But when we take on a mindset that fosters a resiliency, then we're going to be able to handle those unexpected changes. We're going to be able to handle those inevitable experiences because life happens to us all, because sometimes life can be one big crisis. So you can either be going through a crisis, in a crisis, or coming out of a crisis. But the thing that's going to help you to get through that is fostering a resilient mindset to help you to get through that so that you don't lay everything aside or become stagnant and stop altogether. Because sometimes when you stop, when that crisis hits and you're not operating with a resilience mindset, you're going to get stuck and then you're going to have to start all over again. But it's learning how to move forward from where we're at, no matter what comes our way. The sixth thing that we want to be able to do is build a network. Because as health coaches, we're also builders. So, what does building a network look like? We want to be able to strategically build a network of people around our lives. You want to connect to those people who are going to challenge you, and at the same time, they're going to lift you up. Because if you're around people that are not challenging you as a coach or even as a business leader to elevate to the next level, you're never going to rise to be that coach or that business owner that you truly could be. You're not going to reach your highest potential. And so, again, strategically building that network. And so, your network should include partners who are supporting you. That includes fellow health coaches here, right within Health Practice Advisors. We have a wonderful network of coaches within Health Practice Advisors, those who have been here for a long time. Reach out to these coaches, and if you don't have their information or if there's something that you feel that you want to know more information about, we have an amazing network of nurses, doctors, health and wellness professionals that you can really learn and grow from within our organization here. You can also join online communities. This is something that Jan always encourages us to do, that get out on social media and connect with those online support groups and communities that are in line with your business strategy as well as your business vision. For instance, if you are a coach who focuses on weight loss, go out there and find those communities that are talking about weight loss. Begin to build the rapport, begin to build the relationships, because a solid network supports you and it's going to help you to reach even a bigger audience. So it's all about growth, because if we're not building a network, whether that is online, whether that is offline, by attending seminars, by attending events, then you're just going to remain as an island of one. You're going to be out there by yourself, but we can do more together when we are building a network outside of who we are and we're building a strong network in our business environments. Taking time on a weekly basis to build our network. The seventh thing is that we always want to embrace continuous learning, because leaders are readers. And every coach that is a part of Health Practice Advisors is a health leader. We've got our Get Fit 21 certifications. And so that establishes you as a health leader in the community that you are in. And continuous learning helps to build a growth driven mindset. So you want to be in the position of reading something every single day. So as health coaches, we should be curious about the best that comes to our health coaching industry, because right now we know that the world needs what we have. And so we want to be able to tap into those industries that have the knowledge that we need as health coaches. We want to be able to tap into those relevant skills, those emerging trends, especially when it comes to metabolic health. And so, for continuous growth and learning, we should be reading books, if not daily. Something that I practiced that I learned from a leader, even when I was in the military, our senior leaders, they instilled that leaders are readers. So even if you find a professional, a growth book, reading 5 pages every single day. So if you map out time to read 5 pages every single day, you can get through one book in 1 to 2 months. If you're disciplined and map out that time to read books every single day. You can also engage in online communities, sign up for online courses. You can participate in person workshops. And so we have a great environment within Health Practice Advisors that encourages you to embrace continuous learning. So whether you visit the unicityscience.com website, you're attending our quarterly business trainings, you're engaging in our Learn Get Fit 21 platform, because when we first became coaches, we learned so much about the supplementation, but that doesn't mean that we do not need to revisit that Learn Get Fit 21 platform. We have lifetime access to it where you're still learning about the supplementation. You're learning about the science behind the supplementation that we are offering to our clients. We also have recommended books from our coaches' business training because, again, business leaders are readers. And so we always want to stay on top of what we're reading as health coaches to be on the cutting edge of the work that we do. The eighth thing is that we want to be able to practice an attitude of gratitude because sometimes, it can be easy to drift away and lose sight of your objective. And so when you're practicing gratitude and you're practicing patience in that moment, this is going to help you to take time to step back. You're going to be able to visualize what's going on. It's going to help you to regroup. And sometimes we just need to appreciate our support group that we have. We take time to appreciate the mentors that we have in our lives. We appreciate those clients. Every single client that comes our way comes to you as a health coach for a purpose because there's something that they need that you're able to help them with. So being grateful and thankful because they did choose you and you also chose to work with them as a coach and client, that coach client relationship. So being thankful for every client that comes our way. Being thankful for the team that we have within Health Practice Advisors and the work that we do as health coaches, because it's our gratitude that's going to help fuel more innovation. And it's also going to improve those relationships that we have with one another as we are doing this business. The ninth area is we want to be able to embrace failure as our teacher. And something that I always like to say is that life is a classroom. We are always learning. We are always growing. And so the last thing that we want to do is dwell on failures because that gets you stuck in a mindset that is defeatist, a failure mindset. But instead, we want to be able to embrace the insights. We want to be able to analyze those failures because we're going to make mistakes, but we have to look at it and see, okay, what do I need to do to make an adjustment to learn from this experience and to grow from this experience? And then when you make that assessment, then you want to incorporate those new changes to turn the tables of the situation and not remain in that cycle of defeat. But we want to embrace that failure as a teacher. Because when we're embracing failures, this is going to help us to come up. We're going to come up with more effective strategies. And this is going to allow us to be more resilient because we're going to make mistakes along the way as coaches. There's no one that's perfect. We're going to have those times where we may not hit the mark, as they say. But again, we've got to make those assessments. We've got to make those adjustments along the way to know what it is that we must do to make the adjustments to get into that winning cycle. And then the 10th and the final thing is that we want to be able to manage our risks wisely. And so one of the things or some of the things that you can do is that you have to regularly assess your progress and you want to adjust your strategies accordingly. Because if there's something that you're doing that is not working, then that means that we need to manage that situation. Because if we're allowing it to continue to go on and there's no change, that means that we're not managing our business, we're not managing the risk. So, with that assessment, that means that we're making adjustments. That means that we're making changes. And we have to be willing to pivot because this is going to help us to focus on what we need to do to grow and strengthen our business. Because as health coaches and business owners, sometimes, we may have to take some risks, but it's going to take practice to review what that looks at, how we're going to weigh the benefits against the rewards. We weigh out the pros and the cons. And so that means you're going to be using your insights, you're going to be using the information that you've gathered from the things that you are reviewing in your business on a monthly basis. So instead of really stressing out behind the risk of failure, you want to be able to take actions to really prevent those potential risks from really overtaking you, but use them as an opportunity to grow and to become an amazing coach as well as an amazing business professional. So, we are coaches because we love to help people. We love to really share what we have here at Health Practice Advisors. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're growing in business. And so we know that it can be challenging out there, but we have the support within Health Practice Advisors to really help us to grow and to move forward. But there are some internal things that we have to adjust within our own selves as coaches, and that's to build a winning mindset because building this winning mindset is going to help to drive more innovation. It's going to encourage and promote consistent growth. And so it's necessary to find that right balance every time we're going forward in our business opportunities. And so these are the areas that I really wanted to share with you this afternoon at our Lunch and Learn, and I hope that you got something out of this. I will open it up for questions and answers if you have those at this time regarding anything that I have shared. Um, you can unmute yourself at this time, and I'll stop sharing the screen.
In fact, as we were talking, I reminded myself I had to do something. I am a personal trainer, guys, so I have access to clients all day long. I know some of us, right, don't have that. But what I just did just now, because I was been working all day, I invited one of my clients to the cleanse group because she was thinking about doing the cleanse. And, I just feel like sometimes I could talk about it all day long, but a part of me feels like they're not believing in what I'm saying. I know maybe that's a negative thing to think, but so I was just thinking that's a helpful, I think, tool just to invite people to the cleanse group on Facebook so they can actually read what people's experiences are on the cleanse, right? Because one of my clients
Yes.
actually has really helped her. And then
Mhm.
actually purchased the cleanse through me because of that.
Mhm. No,
So
I'm glad you shared that, Trisha, because that's a really great, example.
it's
Because
so
there are
easy.
some
It's so easy to do, right? It's not even that much thought to do. Just invite them.
Right, because there are some people who are visual learners, right? So
Mhm.
they are going to embrace it more readily if they can see it, experience it, and feel it, so to speak. And once they're there, it's like, wow, okay, this is what Coach Trisha was talking about. I can experience it fully. And this is, again, having that personal experience with it. So, yeah, that's great. And so she's been benefiting from the cleanse. And she said she referred someone else.
Yes, she did. And the other person's thinking about it. So I actually just invited her to the group so she can see,
Mhm.
what everyone's experience is on it.
Awesome. No, that's great. That is a great,
I actually made a thought to myself that maybe every week I can try to do that with somebody that I know. Just,
mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I should ask them or if they want me to invite them. I feel like when somebody asks a question about it, like they already have the thought in their head that they want to do it, but they're not sure. So just by
Mhm.
inviting them to the group, we'll give them more information on it.
No, absolutely, and again, it gives that visual, and they get to really experience the overall aspect of what that looks like to really bring them in all of the way. So, no, that's a good strategy.
And what I found for me, being a teacher and in the classroom, you was always modeling for your students so they can see what they need to do. So I kind of been modeling for potential clients and family and friends. So as they see me as the role model going through my transformation, and I'm telling them and giving them accounts of my experiences, they're starting to have those aha moments and inquiring
Mm.
about it and wanting to purchase either the gut cleanse or other supplementation. So that's a strategy that I made a connection. When you role model for people and they see and hear what you're saying and they see the
Mhm.
changes, then they're coming on board.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, and that's good too, because again, we are our brand, right? We are that first point of contact that people, see when it comes to the health and wellness work that we do, and so, yeah, that's good too, Coach Bridget, that leading by example, because as I shared, every one of us as health coaches, we are health leaders, and so we lead from the front. We lead by our lifestyle, we lead by what we're doing, and so that's an excellent example of leading from the front as a health professional.
Yes, absolutely. Great. It was a great lesson. And I was thinking the same thing that Bridget just mentioned, Coach Bridget. We are examples, and people usually stop by and want to know, what are you doing? You look great, or what are you doing? So that is a great opportunity, to be able to discuss your business, by just being an example.
Mhm.
Being
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Thank you for that input as well, Coach Michelle, because again, and it all starts with our mindset, like everywhere we go.
Mhm.
And again, Jan shares this that we bring our supplements with us. We are our brand. People are always watching. People are always looking. There was a call that I got today from someone like I had no idea of the impact that something that I did made on this person, and I was blown away. People are always watching us, coaches. They're always watching us, and we just never know, what we do in our profession and how it will impact them, and so that's that leader mindset and leading from the front.
So I just want to share a story also. I went to a 40th surprise party over the weekend and I really didn't want to go because I'm not a drinker and I'd rather be home in my pajamas on a Friday night, snuggling, watching a movie with my kids and my husband. But so I had a salad before I went with some protein and I took my balance before. When I got there, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so full." I did
Yeah,
not eat anything at the party. I was full. I'm trying to teach myself, Trish, if you're not hungry, you don't need to eat. So people were
yes.
like, "Oh, Miss Fitness, why aren't you eating?" Because I get comments like that all the time. I'm like, "Well, I'm really not hungry, guys, but you eat, enjoy." So I was drinking water because I don't drink alcohol. And they're like, "Well, why are you so full?" I said, "Well, my company, we sell this balance and it's really working. It's making me really full." Do you know, two ladies bought the balance from me that night.
Wow,
Well,
leading from the front.
Going
That
to
was
a surprise
good.
party I didn't want to go to.
So you're gonna miss out on the opportunity, Trish.
Right. So I was happy I went. I was happy I went.
that was
Yeah.
great.
It's something that I heard someone say is that 90% is showing up. Right? So in those times that we don't feel like it, that's a great example where you said you didn't feel like going, but your example as a health leader impacted and influenced that environment. People were watching. They
Yes.
started asking questions. That's that curiosity
Yeah.
that like, what is she doing? Like, what is this? And that curiosity led to
Yeah.
them getting the supplement and the help. And so that's awesome.
That
Great,
was
great, great example.
I mean, I
great.
had scallops in front of me. I had filet mignon. I had shrimp. I don't know, guys. I was so full from the balance. I was so
Yeah.
full. So I felt great. And then I went home without a stomach ache, right?
There you go.
We've
So
all
you
been there.
left feeling Yeah, so you left feeling good. You left, picking up some new clients. You did some business, so that was a great night.
Yeah.
Great. I love it.
Awesome.
So go to the event that you don't want to go to.
Definitely so.
And don't
Definitely. Right. Right. Wow. Were there any other questions or inputs, you guys, before we close out our lunch and learn?
I just want to say thank you. You always do an amazing job, and I greatly appreciate you.
yes.
Oh, I love you guys. You guys are my HPA family. I love to do the lunch and learns, and I'm glad you guys are just taking time out to spend this afternoon. So thank you so much. And
I wish
I'm
we
so
had this
glad.
every week.
You know what? That's the goal. That is the goal that we're going to get there. And so that is on the horizon.
Okay, cool. Very good.
Yeah. So thank you guys, and you guys enjoy the rest
Thank
of
you,
your
and
day.
everybody have a great day.
You
You
too.
too.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.